Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into the eerie world of urban legends, and not just any urban legends, but those that involve our furry friends. Turns out, throughout history, dogs have been at the center of some seriously creepy tales. Did you know that in some cultures, death rocks up with a four-legged companion? Get ready for 10 dog-themed urban legends that will give you chills. Don't worry, I'm totally side-eyeing my dogs right now too. This is some seriously creepy stuff, guys. So light a candle, grab your blankie, and maybe give your furry friend a little extra love tonight. Okay, let's kick things off with a classic, the black dog. This isn't your friendly neighborhood Labrador, no way. This is a creature of shadow and dread. Imagine, you're walking home alone at night, then, boom, out of the darkness, you see it. A massive, shadowy figure with glowing red eyes. It's bigger than any dog you've ever seen, and it just stares at you. People say its growl sounds like souls being dragged through gravel. Legend has it that seeing the black dog means something terrible is about to happen. Like someone you know is going to die, or you're going to get some seriously bad news. There are stories of this creature all over the world, from England to Scotland to the United States. Some people think it's a demon, others think it's a guardian of the underworld. Whatever it is, it's definitely not something you want to run into on a dark night. Okay, so you know I'm a huge true crime fan, and sometimes real life can be even creepier than fiction. The Hound of the Baskerville story is a perfect example of that. This legend comes from Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the guy who created Sherlock Holmes. So you know it's gonna be good. It's about this family, the Baskervilles, who are cursed. And not just cursed with bad luck, but cursed with a giant demonic hound that hunts them down one by one. Can you imagine? You're walking through the moors, minding your own business, when you hear this blood-curdling howl, and then, through the mist, you see it. A monstrous hound with glowing eyes and fangs dripping with, well, you know, it's like something straight out of a horror movie, only this time, it might actually be based on real events. Let's get into some creepy cryptid action, guys, because this next one is truly unsettling. The legend of the dog boy is like something out of your nightmares, only it might have actually happened. We're talking about a creature, a half-human, half-dog monstrosity, said to roam the woods, preying on livestock and some say even people. The story goes that back in the 1950s, in a small town in Arkansas, a family was cursed. Their son, a vicious little bully, was said to have been transformed into a monstrous creature as punishment for his cruelty. People say he developed sharp claws, glowing red eyes, and an insatiable hunger. There's this abandoned house in Arkansas that some people believe was the dog boy's lair. Locals claim to have seen flickering lights, heard strange noises, and even caught glimpses of a shadowy figure lurking in the windows. Chapter 4: The Hellhound Guard Dog of the Underworld. Get ready to face the Hellhound, a creature so terrifying it's said to be a harbinger of death itself. We're talking about a fire-breathing, soul-stealing beast that guards the gates of hell. This is a massive, spectral hound with eyes that burn like hot coals and a bark that can shake the very foundations of the earth. The Hellhound pops up in mythology all over the world, from ancient Greece to medieval Europe. In some stories, the Hellhound is a loyal servant of the devil, dragging souls down to the underworld. In others, it's a guardian, protecting the living from the forces of darkness. But one thing's for sure, this is not a dog you want to mess with. It's like a physical manifestation of our anxieties about what happens after we die. Chapter 5: The Beast of Gévaudan Terror in the French Countryside. Hold on to your baguettes, folks, because this next legend takes us to the French countryside in the 1760s, where a wave of terror swept through the region. I'm talking about the Beast of Gévaudan, a mysterious creature that terrorized the French countryside, killing over 100 people. This wasn't just your average wolf attack either. Witnesses described the beast as a massive wolf-like creature with a thick reddish fur, razor-sharp claws, and an unquenchable thirst for blood. King Louis XV even sent his best hunters to track down the creature, but it continued to evade capture. Some people thought it was a wolf, but others whispered about werewolves, demonic beasts, and even a creature summoned by witchcraft. It remains one of history's most enduring mysteries. Chapter 6: The Phantom Black Dog of Béjlert, Loyalty Beyond the Grave. Get your tissues ready, folks, because this next legend is a real tearjerker. It's the story of Gellert, a faithful hound who became a legend for his unwavering loyalty. The story goes that back in the 13th century, Prince Llywelyn the Great of Wales had a beloved wolfhound named Gellert. One day the prince returned from a hunting trip to find his baby's cradle overturned and Gellert covered in blood. Assuming the worst, Llywelyn drew his sword and in a fit of grief and rage, killed his faithful companion. But as he moved the cradle, he made a horrifying discovery. His baby was unharmed, and lying next to the child was the body of a giant wolf. Llywelyn was devastated. Chapter 7, The Dog of Montargis, A Tale of Canine Justice. It's the tale of the Dog of Montargis, a loyal canine who brought a murderer to justice. The story takes place in 14th century France, where a knight named Aubry de Montdidier was brutally murdered in the forest. His body lay undiscovered for days, guarded by his faithful dog, a greyhound named Dragon. When Aubry's friends finally found his body, they were shocked to see Dragon, who was usually so gentle, snarling and snapping at one of the knights, a man named Richard de Macaire. Suspicions immediately fell on Macaire, especially when it was discovered that he and Aubry had recently quarreled. To prove Macaire's guilt, they decided to hold a trial by combat, a medieval duel where the victor was determined by God's will. The dog, sensing his master's killer, immediately launched himself at Macaire, tearing at his throat and forcing a confession from the terrified knight. Chapter 8, The Church Grim Protector of the Holy Grounds. This next legend takes us to the hallowed halls of churches and graveyards, where a mysterious guardian stands watch. It's the Church Grim, a spectral dog tasked with protecting sacred ground from evil spirits and vandals. Unlike the other creatures on our list, the Church Grim isn't necessarily evil. In fact, it's often seen as a protector, a loyal guardian of the dead, and a symbol of the Church's power over the forces of darkness. But don't let its protective nature fool you. The Church Grim is still a fearsome creature, often depicted as a large black dog with glowing red eyes and a deafening bark. Legend has it that the first person buried in a new churchyard would become the Church Grim, their soul bound to protect the sacred grounds for all eternity. Chapter 9, The Black Shuck Terror on Four Legs. We're heading back to the UK for this next one, guys, to the windswept coast of East Anglia, where a monstrous creature is said to roam the countryside. It's the Black Shuck, a terrifying hellhound with a taste for human flesh. This isn't your average black dog, though. This creature is massive, as big as a bear, with shaggy black fur, glowing red eyes, and a blood-curdling howl that can be heard for miles. Legend has it that encountering the Black Shuck is a sign of impending doom. Some say it's a harbinger of death, while others believe it's a demonic entity that preys on lost souls. Is it possible that this creature is real, a remnant of a time when monstrous beasts roamed the earth? Chapter 10, The Dog of Osu Castle, A Faithful Defender. We're wrapping things up in Japan with a heartwarming story about loyalty, courage, and one very brave dog. This is the legend of the Dog of Osu Castle, a faithful canine who saved his master from certain death. The story takes place in 16th century Japan, during a time of great turmoil and warfare. The Lord of Osu Castle, Oda Nobuhide, was a powerful warlord, but he had many enemies. One day, Nobuhide was betrayed by one of his own men, a man named Tamaoki Poson. Poson snuck into Nobuhide's chamber and was about to strike when suddenly the warlord's faithful dog Hachiko leaped from the shadows and attacked the assassin. Hachiko fought bravely, giving his life to protect his master. And there you have it, folks, 10 dog-themed urban legends that are sure to give you chills. I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely going to be sleeping with one eye open tonight. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more spine-tingling tales. And be sure to let me know in the comments which legend creeped you out the most. And if you have any spooky dog legends from your own culture, I'm dying to hear them. Until next time, stay spooky.